Hi.
Okay. So we're in the middle
Page
of
Chaf.
we're in the middle of Gimel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start giving Gimel. Merkaz
Okay.
Achaim Shel Nishmas Yisrael. The focus or the center of life of the Jewish soul, Ben Korah Kodeshi. Derech Emes ve'emunah no lanu. Through Emes and Emunah we are born. We are raised therein. Ein banu arachim prudim. We don't have separate values. Achdusha Chenes banu. Unity dwells in us. For Hashem Echad Chai B'Kibenu, and one unified light of God exists within us. Hadinim, the halachos, Dinei Torah Elohim, the Chaim Mitzanim Osanu, no, Dinei Torah Elohim Chaim, the laws of the living of the Torah of living God. Mitzanim Osanu Mikam Lashon, markers differently in every nation language. Hakodesh Upel B'Kibenu Pnima, sanctity works within us. Shivos Chayenu Aklolios Elavenu Chalchos. Our ambitions in our lives in general go in that direction. There are drips of Kodesh in every nation language. But the totality of their values do not grow out of it. Slow came Yisrael. Years ago, my first foray into writing for Jewish popular press was a letter to the editor to Jewish Action about Torah Mata. And the idea which I said and letter to the editor, which was about an article which they published, which got the author, my letter got the author kind of upset. But in any event, it was about how in Torah, in the author's definition of modern Orthodoxy, the life, Torah is part of life, not life part of Torah. In other words, there's life, there's your Sunday backyard barbecue and your baseball game, and don't have to be part of your Torah experience. Part of your experience in life is Torah mitzvahs. But in fact, there's life and Torah is part of it. Whereas the proper Jewish perspective, as Rav Kook is putting it, and this doesn't necessarily translate into a different lifestyle, but translates into a different attitude towards life, is that life is part of Torah. In other words, the Rotz and Hashem and our Emunah and our was the Emes and Emunah are our life, and part of that, is the world, is the Bria, and part of that is the life we lead, which is a subcategory of the Emes and Emunah Torah. So it's not just Rav Kook is differentiating between the nations of the world and the Jews, but it's not accurate, because I think among most Jews too, you'll find that there's this notion of there's life and its values, and Torah is a value in life, as opposed to there being Torah and its values and life being a part of that. Am I making myself clear?
Oh, very.
Okay,
That's
fine.
it's the old West Hempstead argument.
Yes. The fascinating thing about West Hempstead is that we grew up modern Orthodox, but I don't think anybody ever defined us as modern Orthodox when we were growing up. I don't think I ever turned the word growing up, and therefore I didn't realize till, I don't know, maybe high school, maybe post high school, that there actually was a difference in approach between what I experienced in Hank in the winter and Camp Monk in the summer. That it actually was a different world. I never saw it that way. I just thought, okay, this is
when we were learning after high school, and we would come back in the summer, we would always get a hard time about when you're going to college, and
right.
what kind of job are you going to get, and
Yeah.
and all that, and it was
Right.
was extremely difficult and disheartening for me and for other guys too.
Yeah. But I think that became much of an issue in the late 70s and 80s. I don't think that really we were aware of it in the late 60s and early 70s. But be that as it may, but certainly what?
We used to have. Do you remember Rav Yehuda Landi?
Sure.
Well, so we used to, this is something that, of course, we talked about with him a lot. The problems that we had in West Hempstead, and we used to ask people, like, they would say, what are you going to Israel for? You could learn here, you could go to YU, you could do this, that. And so we would say, well, don't you love Israel? So everybody would say, my heart is in Yerushalayim, Libi Yerushalayim. So then we would say, well, where's your money? And they would say, well, my money, that's in New York. So Landi and I came up with this expression that, the guy was a Libi Yerushalayim and a Kaspiba New York guy. And that was like the shotzing up, the sizing up of how people were at that time. And, we had a tremendously hard time with that. It's very difficult.
Right. So
my parents, of course, were not like that. But, people would hear people telling my parents, your son's still learning. When's he going to go to college? What's he going to do?
Right.
My father, he did not go down that path. He would say, do you like the yeshiva? I said, I love the yeshiva. Do you like learning? Yes. Are you being successful? Yes, I'm being successful. So, okay. Do you want to go back? I said, yeah, I want to go back another year. He says, okay, no problem. He took out his checkbook and he wrote the check.
Right. So
my father was not influenced by what anybody else said.
Right. So this is something which obviously, however the modern Orthodox might claim Rav Kook as a role model, this kind of paragraph rejects that assertion. So
absolutely.
lo can be so. It's a small statement which includes all of the primary aspects of Torah. You see it manifest mostly in individuals, but but the truth is, it's that the province of the general public. Every Jew has this idea of whether they manifest it or not. All the ambition of life, and all the desire for life. Acquisitions and their desires, it's their quest. Riches and honor. Governance and expansion, expansionism in Am Yisrael. They'll come from emerged from Kedusha. Now, again, like you said, you only see it manifest in the Yechidei school, but if you're Rav Kook and others as well, they believe that this is something which is intrinsic to the nation, inseparable from the nation, no matter whether we see it actually manifesting itself or not.
No.
Therefore, the laws are the Holy of Holies. Smicha. And as we established last week, smicha, the actual smicha of a chacham, she knows a shem elokim, which carries the name of God on it. I'm not sure exactly what he means by carries the name of God on it, but I guess from Moshe Rabbeinu, it's a special ruach hakodesh was intrinsic to smicha. He kokach nechutz, it's so essential to us, even though we haven't had it for almost 2,000 years. He kokach ofiyis, it's so typical. To the content of our nationality. And the wicked Greek Syrian government, it sensed with its blind sense the value of this great quality, because of smicha and decree that smicha is outlawed. Rabbi ben Bava was Moshe Nefesh to give smicha to 5 elders, and then he was killed, of course, here it says the Syrian Greeks. I thought it was the Romans, but okay, Syrian Greeks, fine. Upulas Mesiras Nefesh as those nishara. This act of Mesiras Nefesh remain. Because this act of an individual of serious nefesh made more profound the contents of the unique life, which is the special destiny of the Jewish people. Being Moser Nefesh V'Smicha indicated how much our unique relationship to halacha, to law, any kind of law, even the most mundane, so to speak, civil law, is so important to us. Moshe Rabbeinu Hashem Tavsoas Ito Es Koach HaMishpat. Moshe Rabbeinu, when he seized with the power of Mishpat, I guess together with Yisroel's master plan, because it's sort of a ba'uma at the beginning of the foundation of the nation. Hellos called Erke Mishpat at Sof Kol Adoros also the Tochen Eloki Shishpat Yisrael B'Yim Elav. He uplifted all the values of justice until for all time to that unique divine quality Shemishpat Yisrael B'Yim Elav, to which the laws of Judaism come. There is no separation between the yearning for God or godliness, which comes together with the Jewish justice. This is what he told Yisroel. When the nation comes to me to seek God in their court cases. Something comes and I judge between one person and another. But that is and I let them know the statutes of God and His Torahs. So the quest for God, which is intrinsic in justice, according to the Torah, remains a unique Jewish quality. Sorry, which is revealed in the divine quality, which includes and pervades Jewish existence all over the world and for eternity. But it shines forth in Eretz Yisrael, in the land which is unique inheritance. Place where the light emanates for the qualities of Kedusha. Heresy jettisoned, laid Mishpat, laid it, secularized it. And it's separated between the midah of rachmim and chesed according to its perception. Now tells Yisroel which takes away the basis of the world and destroys it. Right? Micha Hanavi says the three values of Judaism are sos mishpat, avas chesed, vatznei lechus, and Hashem Elokecha. So you can't divorce asos mishpat and havas lechus from atznei and atznei lechus. They all go together. It's a package deal. And the nations of the world which divorce justice from the chesed, they miss the boat. I think that one of the problems with American law over time as it's developed is that it has strayed from Judeo-Christian values, even when you have staunchly Christian judges, it really doesn't mean anything, because the point is it has it's grounded in constitutionality, not in divinity. And constitutionality is nice, but it's not necessarily the idea of values-based. And that's why you can have people coming up with all sorts of laws on the left and the right, which are not necessarily ethical, but are legal. Okay, I don't want to get into examples. But the point is that there is the notion of ethics and divine ethics, which for us is inseparable from law and is the foundational basis of a properly functioning society. So when we talk akiras yisod hamishpat mitechnology, if you divorce the basis of judgment, of justice, from its divine content, it's seized by the most materialistic baseness. and it comes with its pollution to penetrate the personal justice of an individual. And it also then penetrates with great expansiveness into the souls of the nations. And with this, you can come to the foundation of the hatred of nations, and the depths of the depravity of wickedness of the tumah of shvichas damim, which becomes, so to speak, legalized. Without removing the yoke, not the yoke of what, from people's necks. I don't know exactly what he's referring to. Everyone's eyes have to be uplifted towards the light of God, the world light of God. Which basically we have to assume is going to fail to be manifest as long as Mashiach doesn't come. And I was doing a podcast with my friend Kivalevitz, which hasn't yet been posted. But like in Am Yisrael, also in the time of Bayis Rishon, especially, assassination was a favorite tool of the leaders, particularly of the Northern Kingdom. Right, every king assassinated, basically staged a coup and assassinated the previous king. There was sometimes exceptions to the rule, but in Am Yisrael also there was the divorce between certainly the time first base of Mikdash between Avodas Damim and Avodas Hashem. And Avodas Hashem was something which people still did, but besides it, they did all these. They were able to compartmentalize and live with contradiction and live with at the same time doing terrible averos. So this obviously is kind of Chol Rachel Daya did not exist, and by Sheni we know it was more Ishusina Aschina, which is more of a midah than actual avera. But the point is that both of these are ways in which a person compartmentalizes and separates, and Rav Kook really only gives hope for this to be rectified by Mashiach. One of the characteristic aspects of Mashiach is that he will judge the world with justice, and Yadin Lumim Mesharim, and judge the nations with straightness. So again, and there is no distinction in Am Yisrael between the Mishpat, the Chesed, and that's the Okay,
Yes.
that's a nice piece.
It is very nice. Thank you. Thank you for all the explanation.
Okay. So I guess we'll leave that for next time.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Very good. Thank you. Have a good week.
Have a good bye.
Take care. Bye.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Next week is Shiva Sarbatama, I think on Tuesday? Or am I mistaken?
Today's the
Wednesday?
10th, so yeah.
Okay, so we'll play it by ear. Hopefully it'll work out, but
Okay.
we'll play it by ear.
All right. Take care.
Bye.